Welcome all to Handpan Roots. We are live. Welcome to each and every one of you, whether you are watching this video live with us tonight, 8 p.m. France, or if you're watching this as a replay, welcome to the Handpan Roots. Welcome to all of you. My name is David Charrier. I am the happy founder of masterthehandpan.com, who last year just merged, united with handpandojo.com and the great, the legendary David Cookerman. We're so happy to be working now together as one platform. And yeah, welcome to this event, the Handpan Roots Live, powered by Master the Handpan Dojo. Happy to be joined with by my cousin Sylvain. Sylvain is working with me at for the platform, and you know we have a special relationship. Not only we are enthusiast handpan players, but also, and that's the most important, we have the same blood. We are a member of the same family. He is my cousin. How are you doing, Sylvain?
Doing great. Yeah, you guys out there, you know the story. David introduced me to the Hong back in 2004, 2005, was kind enough to lend me one of his precious instruments. And when I finally got my own in 2007, we started playing together regularly, right? Busking, we went on to forming multiple bands together. And I really learned with David. And so I'm so excited for all of you to learn with him too, because that's my first-hand experience, and I can tell you it was just so great. You know, he's super humble, but from the get-go, just go back to the Master the Handpan YouTube channel and sort videos by oldest, and you will see that in that messy bedroom, he was already kind of showcasing some techniques and some maneuvers and some just creative ways of playing this brand new instrument at the time. And it continues. We're now in 2025, like more than 20 years later. So yeah, it's fun.
What an adventure. It's been a lot of fun. And the fun continues with this great event, the Handpan Roots, 30 days all together, an event brought to you, powered by Master the Handpan.
Absolutely. So a couple housekeeping instructions out of the way. So we're going to interact with you guys on the chat. So if you want to locate the chat and type the answer to this icebreaker question, what is your handpan dream? Is it to play solo in the forests? Is it to go up on stage with other musicians? Is it to go travel with a handpan on your back and go busking from city to city? Or is it even teaching? We certainly know about teaching and the passion of interacting with students. So if you want to type your question, your answer to this question in the chat, and we'll circle back on it. But we are in for a month of accelerated learning. So while folks respond in the chat, David, tell us about what Handpan Roots is all about.
Yeah, thank you so much. Handpan Roots is my desire to offer 30 days of regular practice to people who just tune in handpan, who just got their instrument, first touch, group, category, whatever, beginners, or maybe some players with a bit of few years behind them of playing, but who wants to revisit the basics. I wanted to design a little curriculum, an event where not only we would taste, I hope, some great tutorials, but really the kind of videos that I truly believe everyone should follow and watch at least once in order to be on the right track when you kick off your handpan journey. And designing this event, I was like, that would be excellent. And we did it to release 12 videos, but one after each other in order for the learning to be really at your own pace, to be regular, so that you don't have everything and you're kind of lost. I'm unlocking those 12 videos one after one, and we are we're putting these videos out every 3 days with an email that gives you some information about them. And I wanted also people to taste, so yeah, for sure, the power of discipline and being regular and being committed to practice at least 15 minutes a day so that you can see the power of discipline. But I wanted also this event to be something that we would live together. So we put together a special space in our village, which is our community space at Mastery Handpan in our academy. But I wanted also people not to feel alone, because we've learned it throughout the years. Learning gets better when we do it together. We're not made to be alone at home with our handpan. It's so cool to connect with other players and just to strengthen one another and to last, to go through all these lessons and content material for 1 month together, because I want you guys to see the result of just having a bit of practice every day. So I'm unlocking all these videos. We have 12 of them. I created some homework. Sometimes you have backing track in order to play along with me and to practice with different BPM. We have downloadable ebooks. And we have, like today, some live where we do kind of a checkpoint. You know, it's the moment where I want to make sure everyone is on board. I want to answer all the questions you may have had during your practice. Yeah, so it's a great event. It's a test. We're so happy to do it, and for sure, you know, we like to give away some stuff. We will be giving raffling a handpan. So we'll have more information about this in a few minutes.
Yeah, it's such a cool opportunity to win a handpan at the end of a cool month of learning and community. So what to expect on today's call? After this short introduction, we will dive into our first checkpoint, and it will consist of a quick recap of where we've been this past week, and then dive into a live Q&A. We already have a number of questions that you guys submitted under the videos themselves, and we will kind of start with those, but then it'll be followed by an open mic. So, you know, you've practiced those chat skills. We're going to need you again to post your questions in today's live stream. And then we'll wrap up with some announcements, a preview of the lessons that went live, I think, yesterday, 4, 5, 6. And then we'll remind you the rules for the handpan giveaway, because we don't want anyone to miss out on this. But first, let's circle back to this icebreaker question that we started with. Yeah, what's your handpan dream? And let me turn over actually to Dave. I know you've had many dreams with this instrument, and you know I've been right there alongside with you for a lot of those, and we've been able to fulfill some of these dreams. But what's your dream now? At this stage, 21 years into playing this instrument, what's your next dream?
I think I'm living it right now. It's not the platform, even if it has been, and it's still a big dream. You know, I think I've had different chapters in my life. I would say the very first 8 years, I was into just practicing, putting music out, doing some shows, concerts. We made this band Kiona. We've got Wadam. We've been touring, doing many things. It was really the era of showcasing the instrument and having fun. I was also super young in a way, you know, 20 years ago. And then came the era of transmission, I would say, like, you know, you're like, hey, I want to help other people. And, you know, I started to teach and stuff. So I had this dream of teaching, and it was happening. And then I scaled it into a platform. That was my dream. And I'm still in this dream. But recently I've been composing my new album that I will release in September. And I think I'll share a link or something if you want to follow the project and have all the infos, but that's not the goal of tonight. And I think Sylvain, I gave you something. My dream now, honestly, is making music with the handpan And at the same time, that's a lot. I'm not answering the question at all, as always. But yeah, my dream right now is putting out music. I need to do it. It's a need. It's not because it's cool or because I have to. It's like, you know, I'm a musician. I'm not only a teacher. Let's put some music. I needed to put this out. So that's my dream, making music. And I want to finish my life in my studio playing music.
Yeah, we're all so excited about this new album release. I got to see the cover just a couple days ago. It's
Oh yeah,
beautiful.
I showed you that. Yeah.
I think Scott helped you design it.
Yeah, Scott Graham,
Yeah,
one of
so
the
cool.
top two graphists I know in the whole world.
Yeah, so and you've been posting these behind the scenes and just documenting the process
Yeah, a
of
little bit.
releasing your album.
Trying.
So if anyone out there hasn't been following David on social media, just go do that because this is you get to see the making of an handpan album, but also just the journey that brought you there. Like we could hear, you know, if you can read between the lines. David's been doing this for a really long time, and he was like yearning. He was craving for pure creation, right?
Oh
Just
yeah,
making
yeah.
music.
That's my dream. Yeah.
And we often talk about it at Master the Handpan, this never-ending, ever regenerating power of music, whether it's music that you listen to, like finding a new favorite band, or actually like working on a new composition. And we're going to have lots to say about composition. But you guys in the
What do
chat,
we
I
have
mean,
here? Yeah.
we saw the whole gamut. A lot of people were excited about playing in solo, on stage, teaching, busking, traveling. So I just want to say thank you so much, everyone, for sharing your dream. Hold on to it. Remember it, because what we're doing is we're manifesting, right? And we're helping each other out. We're keeping each other accountable. So thank you for that. And shout out in the chat to our moderator, Phil. Hey, what's up,
Hey,
Phil?
what's up, Phil?
Phil is a moderator on The Village. And like the saying says, it takes a village. As part of your Handpan Roots, you have access to the Handpan Village, kind of a concised version just for this 1 month. And Phil's been really helpful in welcoming the hundreds of you that I've jumped in.
We have so many great answers. I mean, it's so cool to see how we can incorporate. Some people want to play for their retreats, yoga classes. People just want to talk, express themselves. Playing at burials in the forest, sound healing. Performing handpan for aliens from another planet. This is so cool. I have few connections over there if you want. We can. That's so cool. Yeah, thank you guys.
That's awesome. Yeah, good man, Dave, for looking at those and sharing your thoughts. Let's dive into the first checkpoint. It's live stream number 2. We're calling this branching out.
Yeah.
And we're going to do a couple of things. The first is just a brief reminder of how to access your content.
Yeah.
So I'll share my screen. It's really simple. Yeah. You've seen it by now. But David, take us through.
Yeah, for sure. We received some comments, some questions also at the support here. By the way, thank you, Ben. He's doing customer service and way many other things. We've got some questions about where is the content, how does it work and stuff. So I think it's we can take just 2 minutes. If you sign up for this event, you receive the link that comes with the first email, and then at every email we publish, we broadcast, you receive a link to connect, to go to your dashboard. This is what we see on screen. We have the syllabus that just shows you the 12 lessons we are diving into and that we are unlocking one after one. You can see the 3 first one. We've been working on them together, guys. Thank you so much. I read so many comments over there. And then recently we have unlocked the module number 4 and 5. That was about, I think we only did 4 and 5, yeah. And that was about warming up, And then on June 13th, we will be releasing Module 6. So that's really the syllabus, the different lessons you will have for this month. You can see what's going to be available and at which dates. On the right, you can see our little calendar where we have a link in order not to miss our live stream like tonight. So we have another 2 live till the end of June. Please click on the link and then you will be able to RSVP the event so that you have this friendly reminder, and you can also check the time zone and everything, making sure you're not missing our calendar. On the top of this page, you also see your progress. It tracks how many % of the whole syllabus you've been watching. If we click on a video, maybe one of the modules, maybe the number 5, please. Sorry, I'm making you going back. The number 5, how does it work? When you click, you have the instruction whenever it's a blue LED panel behind its instructions. So there is the teaching, and then below, I wrote some little thoughts, some little bullet points, some notes really important for me, where I encourage you with the material. Right below, if you scroll further down, you will see whenever it's a purple background, it's a homework. These videos are homeworks for you. I want it not to be like, hey, practice for 15 minutes, but I want it also to guide you with these 15 minutes, how to make the best use of your time. Time is what we're all struggling with, and but I'm telling you what to do with your 15 minutes. This is a minimum. You can do way more than this, but at least try and taste 15 minutes a day. If you scroll further down, you will see that if we have for certain lectures, certain videos, modules, we have some additional content resources, whether it's a downloadable backing tracks or an ebook or additional stuff, you'll find them here. And even further down, we have a section where we can talk about this lesson. So whenever you do have a question about that specific video, you can write it below and I try to answer all of you guys. So it's super cool because actually whenever you see a question that you want to follow up, you can just upvote by clicking on the arrow going up, so that it tells me, hey, this is a question that many people are interested of. And then I just select those questions and I answer them live. For sure, I answer in the comment, but it gives me ID for the live in order to develop some ideas. So that's pretty much it. And further down, we had a link to go to the village, to this special space that Sylvain is going to walk you through.
Yeah, it's such a great platform. Shout out to our webmaster and web guru, Matt, who is designing all these features from scratch. He is building, the canvas that we get to interact on. So it's amazing to have these, and yeah, please jump in the conversations under the videos. So Dave mentioned the village. The village is we believe, one of the most vibrant corners of the handpan world. It's our online forum. That sounds a little old school. It's our community space. And here, under Handpan Roots, there's 2 main categories: Let's Chat and Live Events. Yeah. And check this out. I mean, there are hundreds of posts of people introducing themselves, guys, saying hello, sharing their story. And here's my call to you guys. I don't want to see a 0 comment on any of those posts. David and I have been going out and trying to introduce ourselves and to welcome hundreds of you. Of course, we can only do so much ourselves. So here's the deal. I'm empowering you guys to go find all those posts that maybe got some likes but didn't get a comment, and just say hello. It goes a long way, and we're all scattered across the world. But if we were doing this in a building, it's basically the equivalent of, we don't want anyone to come in without getting a hug or getting their handshake. Yeah. So thank you for being a part of this community. Ask your questions, share your story, start a friendly debate. Everything's fair game. We love hearing from you. So that's a quick recap of the dashboard where you get your lessons and of the village where you continue the conversation. Now we're going to jump into some of these themes that came up. And let me get the right slide. So we just did our recap. Now let's go into a time of Q&A, starting with what are some of the themes or some of these upvoted questions, Dave, that you've seen pop up?
Thank you so much. I really want, I don't want anyone to be left behind with this 30 days because I'm truly convinced of what I'm doing here. I truly believe that if you follow these 12 videos in the right order, at your own pace, practicing 15 minutes a day, you're going to see transformation in your playing. That's my promise. And I think it's also why I do this live. It's to make sure I'm answering all your questions, a maximum of them. In the comments, and I have my notes here. Sorry if I'm not looking into your eyes, guys. Some people talk about the force, the strength to hit, to strike the instrument. How strong? That's an amazing question because the answer is tricky. Each instrument is really different from one another, and depending on how it's been built, the material that is being used, every instrument has a certain thickness, a certain dynamic into the metal. Your hands really bounces differently on the instrument. Some instruments have, we call them nitrated steel. Usually they are darker than another alloy and called stainless steel, which is reddish, kind of orange-ish. And it's really important to notice that depending on if you're on a nitrated instrument, you need to hit a bit harder in order to have a full round sound, whether on those stainless steel, you really need to strike softer than on a nitrated steel. Usually that's mainly what we see. And actually each material and the way the handpan is built give you what we call a different dynamic range. Some instruments, you barely touch them and already they do sound amazing. Some instruments you need to push a little bit more, like to strike a little bit more like a whip, you know. And sometimes if you hit too hard, you will feel that you've reached the maximum of your dynamic range and the instrument starts to, you know, there's kind of a threshold where the sound starts to become saturated. So you want some volume, but not to the point I wrote where the notes produce this harsh and piercing sound. So I think your ears are the final judge of that. But remember, if you have a hard time to make a sound, it's not because necessarily because you don't have the right touch. It's maybe because your instrument is giving you a hard time. It's a nitrated steel. It's not super well made. So that was about the force, the strength with which we strike the instrument. I got some question about the tip, the pad, where exactly we strike the instrument, because someone told me, but David, I see Marloy, she's playing with the tip, really like this, you know, and not, look at the camera, not like this, but like this, you know, like picking, how do you say, plucking the notes. So what I want to say here, and I wrote it for you guys, there are many ways to make the instrument sound, and some players do occasionally use the tip of their fingers, almost like they were plucking the notes, but the most natural technique, one that offers the richest resonance, is to strike with the flat part of your skin. You know, the underside of the phalanx. Thank you, ChatGPT, for your help. Phalange in French. And so really it's that part, that pad here, that really strike the instrument. So for sure you can play like this, plucking the instrument, and it gives you a different sound. But look, what's natural is the way your hand is falling on the instrument. This is less natural, right? Look at my arm. This is really the way my hand is falling on the instrument. So I think you should develop the your touch using the pad below of your finger, but from time to time, in order to have another texture, you can use the tip, really, like plucking the instrument, but never forget that it's quite rare and usually done to achieve a specific sound that people are using the tip of their finger. Also, flat hand gives you the best opportunities to reach two notes quite easily, whereas if you're plucking, this is the distance you have, you know, but if it's flat, it's a longer distance.
Yeah, and you know, for any out there who thinks I'm beyond that, practice your non-dominant hand.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
It's always something we can improve on, even years down the road. So why not work on these handpan basics, which is the whole point of Handpan Roots. Again, practice your non-dominant hand if this seems elementary.
Many people talk about the thumb, but I like to play with my thumbs. You are a free dude. You can do whatever you want, and you can have everything with your thumb. But when you do a double stroke, having your thumb ready for that note and your finger ready for the next one, the upper one, it gives you so much more dexterity and possibilities, and you are way more faster, efficient. You have more accuracy. This is why I'm suggesting to start really with 3 thumb, and then your fingers are ready. As I said in the video, thumb, 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 and then the fingers are ready here. So I think in order to descend 4 notes, this one, it's better to tack, 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 tack with my thumb. Too much movement here. And if you look at a handpan player, thumbs are there for the very first note, and then your fingers are already placed from a thumb to note. So it's really important to develop this striking with the thumb, but also the fingers, and don't do everything just with your thumb. You need all these other brushes. Yeah, I knew it would be tricky, but I told you guys in the video, you strike the border, the edge that is the closest to you. For example, if I want to reach this note here, look, why would I go over there? I'm going over the dimple, so I'm making pluck, 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 pluck. Whether I can just have this border here. So usually, again, the way your hand fall on the instrument is the right position for your hand. And don't go there, don't go there, don't go there. Use the border that is in front of you. If I want to reach that note, that's actually really interesting. If I want to reach that note, look how my hand is falling on it. If I want to reach it with my right hand, with my right hand, here, I'm not doing the border that is facing my body, but the way my hand is naturally positioned, I strike the border that is in the axe and facing me in a way. You know what I'm saying? Sylvain, you can help me on that in English. But if I'm there, so I'm not saying it's all the borders that are facing your body. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one. It's really like, you want to play this note? Look. What is the closest border? Over there? No. On the right? No. On the left? But here, in the axis. If I want to reach this one, closest border, this one. Don't go over the dimple. So I think this is super useful just to realize this is where you have super clean, round sound. But don't be like, there is only one spot and it's this one because this one is facing me. No. If I want to reach this note like this, it's this border here and not that one here in front of me. Sylvain, if you got me and you have 3 sentences to sum this up, thank you so much.
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, observe where your hand is and what is the most ergonomic movement.
Way.
It's such a cool canvas, right? The handpan is very different from playing keys or playing on the neck of a guitar. Sure, it's really confusing to like try to learn different layouts, you know, on different sound models, but it's really designed to be this comfortable, really ergonomic instrument, the size of an embrace, like it's been said before, and everything should feel good. So
Yeah.
identify those areas of discomfort and and try to figure out, okay, where can I play that note in a
Yeah.
way that's
Do
more
some
aligned?
test, like strike one note 200 times, and you will see where you get the best sound, where your arm is having an ergonomic position, and you will feel it. Yeah, I have other questions, but maybe should we switch to really the Q&A coming from live today, and then if we have extra times, I have some other stuff to cover, but I want to give the priority to you guys who set up some time apart for this live. So the floor is yours, guys, and you can ask any kind of question about what you learned, what you're practicing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give Dave a moment to catch his breath. Let's start with this quick question. Does the actual temperature of the pan make a big difference? What's the best way to warm it? It's winter here. I noticed the pan is so cold. You know, this actually reminds me of a gig that David and I had up in Vercors, and it was winter time, and we actually performed. It was like freezing temperature, and our instruments were so cold. But to answer your question, Fentomnotone, yes, the temperature affects the pitch, as does air pressure, altitude. It's crazy. You know, when you think about it, a handpan, there's no moving parts. It's one plane of metal in which these different notes are tuned. The steel is compressed. These notes are holding the tune, and it can fluctuate. We've all experienced, if you haven't already, just be warned, if you play in direct sunlight, your instrument will get hot and it will go out of tune. It will, I think it goes flat. You don't even have to be in direct sunlight to test that. If you put your hand on a note for 20 seconds, that note is going to go down in pitch by about 20 cents. It'll come back up. Don't worry, you didn't detune it.
Yeah.
But yes, it's an instrument that's great to bring on your back and to go like traveling with, but don't forget that it is sensitive to the elements. Salt air at the beach, you want to avoid that. Sunlight, if you're going to play a gig in the middle of the day, you need cover, right?
Yeah.
So these are all considerations. Even jamming out for your next music video, you need some shade, right?
Yeah. There's this question about why play from CS, if you want to put it on screen, why play with handpan flat versus, if I understand correctly, that, thank you so much for your question, CS. You're asking why playing flat where we could have it like this, right, Sylvain, if I'm correctly answering the question?
Yeah, I think so.
Or
Let me
like
reread
this.
it.
So maybe we have two.
Yeah, I think that's what CS
Like this.
means. And CS, feel free to clarify.
Yes, so guys, flat, it's cool. This is cool. Everything is cool, but I do think like when you have the instrument like this, for sure maybe you feel more comfortable because you are holding it better. But I think here, look at my shoulders, I think it's too high. Or if this is really here but high, you don't really see the notes over there. And look at my elbows and I have tensions here, whether when you're flat, you're super comfortable here. You're tempted to look at my shoulders, what they are doing, to have them high here, and it could give you some tension in your playing. Again, this is not rocket science. Do some trials, and your body will tell you if it's comfortable or not. Some people also like to have it like this so that they can see the high notes. Yeah, but I'm just afraid of the angle of your wrist here when you play this one. If I'm making a caricature of this position like this, look at this angle. This is not good for my wrist. And for sure it's perfect here, right? And here it's exactly the same. It's gonna be great here, even if I don't really see them, but here it's gonna give me a hard time. So I think do some trials. For sure there is a slight angle that can really help you. I don't know your physiognomy, your body, at which height you put the instrument. So do some trial, but make sure you don't have weird movement. And I think ergonomy is the key word. You will feel it, your body will tell you, and I would need to see you in front of me to correct your position.
Yeah, no, and it's great. All-encompassing answer. If you want to dive even deeper, we have our latest teacher on Master the Handpan is a woman named Karen Hallmeyer-Winter, who released a masterclass yoga for handpan players on Master the Handpan and Handpan Dojo, and she spends quite a bit of time to address posture, the right height, just feeling good, right? Not just playing good, but actually feeling good. So there's tons of content that you can identify if you want to fix maybe some areas of discomfort. There's a question from Molipan, who I think your first name is Matt. I could be mistaken, sorry if I am, but can you tell something about what works best for meditative melodies for relaxation at yoga classes?
What do we identify? What are the specifics of a melody that could help meditate? I think we can all agree that when something goes super fast, might not be super relaxing. Even if I play them as a little loop and I only change a few notes here and there, maybe it's gonna be trancy and you can meditate. I don't know how you guys meditate and stuff, but usually what is good for meditation is slow movement, fewer notes, so that we don't have a pattern loaded with techniques and stuff. Nah, but maybe slightly change. Looping, little change here and there, not too much. That's too much, but maybe. With a little change here and there. So I think when it's slow, when you have few notes, when your changes are not big changes, I think it helps, it supports your meditation so that music is leading you, nothing disturbing your ears in the middle of nowhere. So I would say slow. The same one again. Same one. Change. Another change. You know, so your ears are led by the melodies, and it gives you this feeling of peace and relaxation and stuff. So this is not rocket science, but I'm giving you some little elements here. Super important. Play slow, few notes, little changes, slow pace, not too much techniques on it, and make sure there is this looping thing, because I think part of meditation, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, is there's something circular, and I think you can create that with your handpan.
Yeah, great stuff. Repetition is your friend for meditative playing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of questions. I'll bring some up on the screen,
Yeah,
and
please.
we can respond quickly. This one from Stephanie says, how can I play with the hands different with rhythms? My head says no. Reminds me of our challenge with Kirill Osharov in the month of March on the Master the Handpan Academy. It was a polyrhythm, and it was odd metric time signature. There are tons of techniques. This is probably going to be beyond the scope of Handpan Roots, but man, the scale does not stop. It goes as high as you want it to go in terms of really dissociating your different hands and playing different rhythms. But I think what you'll learn in Handpan Roots is how can that serve the melody when we enter the composition phase.
And playing, if you're talking about polyrhythm here, it's really, it gives you so many other possibilities and stuff. And I think it's a matter of hand independence, hand dexterity, and everything. And this in your handpan journey comes really afterwards. Once you can really have your left hand obeying you, your right hand too, so that you can at a moment be like, hey, you keep this while you do that, okay? You do a triangle, you do a square, and we meet somewhere, and it's never be the same place every time. But I think it's a matter of practice, and I think first of all, making sure your hands are obeying you. There is this wire from your head to your hands. They follow what you want to do. Otherwise, it's going to be a mess. We never start with polyrhythms when we teach newbies, unless small ones, super fun to do.
Mm-hmm. Balaj says, I noticed that playing soft and quick is the hardest compared to other combinations. Can you please show some exercises to practice to improve on that?
Yeah. Let me take... never do that at home, please. That was...
That is the scariest sound for handpan players, and I came to realize for steel drum makers. We have a lot in common with our brothers and sisters from Trinidad and Tobago. We are utterly terrified and traumatized by the sound of banged steel. All right, what have you got, Dave?
Yes.
What's this instrument on your lap?
This is a D-curl from Elaya. And again, it was how to play soft and quick. That's really hard. Quick is playing, Sylvain, is soft slow or soft doucement?
Doucement.
Okay. So playing quick is just playing slow, but you scale up, and at the end you will be able to play quick, to play fast. You never start with... No, you start with and then you need to be very comfortable, and at a moment you will have accuracy, you will have light touch, but playing fast is just the result of playing slowly and upgrading, leveling up 5 BPM by 5 BPM. Never try to go super fast if you cannot play it slowly and with precision. So many people have some rolls, and it's dirty. It's really like... And you hear it in the playing. it's not accurate, it's not on the one, it's not on the beat, it's almost, that's too much. So you need to control what you're doing and being able to deconstruct. Okay. You know, so fast is slow that you have been practicing and mastering, and then you have scaled up till you reach the BPM you want to achieve. So this is why it's hard to have precision, and precision is this breaking down your movement, making sure you know exactly what you're doing. Playing softly, yes, because your arm is heavy, you're tempted to believe that we are inserting the sound. You're not inserting any sound. It's not a TV command on which you try to press to change the channel and you're running out of battery and you think that if you press harder, you're gonna be able to do it. We are extracting the sound. Once you understand that, I'm taking it out. The sound, you don't put a microphone here to get the sound. You put a microphone here because the sound is going up, you know? We do put a microphone here just to get some bass and some dynamic, but this is why to play softer, it depends on your material and the quality of your instrument. It's difficult because we're tempted to press, because we truly believe that the more I press, the more I will get a clean sound. So you need to barely touch it, and you add 1, you add 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and it saturates, as I was telling you about. There are great exercises, and I'm going to give you one right now, that all of us teachers, we give to our students when we talk about dynamic, is to play something with different level of sound. Look, this is level 0. Okay, I'm not touching the instrument, there is no sound. Level 1. Level 2. Level 7. Level 5. Level 2. Level 1. Level 10. Sorry guys. Going back to 8. 3, 5, 1. So you are, I know when I did 5 and then I redid 5, it was not the exact same 5, but you have this scale and you try to be like 10 is too much, 1 is very softly, and you try to throw some numbers and to adapt your playing. And so you will teach your hands to adapt the strength they put on the instrument. That's a great exercise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc., etc. Oh, I cannot hear you, Sylvain.
Yeah, that was such a great way to illustrate that. Thanks so much, Dave.
Pleasure.
Our next question comes from Serenity. Are there any tips to reaching the higher notes on the pan, or is it just with practice? I get a bit of a ting.
Yeah.
And of course, here it depends what you mean. Is it actually reaching in terms of distance, like they're far, or maybe bottom notes on the front, the opposite side of your instrument? Or is it more getting the clarity of the sound? And then if it is more about clarity, then it's about practicing that touch that you'll find in Handpan Roots.
And the higher the note is, the smaller the dimple is. So the surface you need to target and not to miss is very small. So I think, and that's, we can circle back to the handpan position. If you don't see your high notes because you are too much like this, and maybe this is a good example. Here, because of your belly, your legs length, whatever, you cannot see them well. You need to practice and to be like, when I have this note in front of me, I know that this note that you guys can see here, but from my point of view, I cannot see this one. Look, it's here. I don't see it, but I know when I have my lowest note here, that note, my palm is there. I can see my palm. I know it's there. So you can play blind. And so if you have a ting sound, it's because you're on the edge or even outside and you have a tack. So I would say if you can see your notes well, it's a matter of reaching them properly and making sure you're in the right zone. Maybe the material is not a good material. Your handpan is maybe a bit low budget and they have a hard time to make those really high notes sounding super cool. But either you, and if you don't see them, well, just get used to the placement. Okay, it's here and observe your hand. Okay, this axis, okay, it's there. So I suggest you guys to find a position where you can see your high notes too.
Yeah, and that's a great segue into another question from Soul Panda. Is there a trick to not mute bottom notes on when the handpan is sitting on your lap? Same here, right? Like if you have bottom notes, you can't spread your legs, right? You can't be in more relaxed. You're gonna have to put them together and.
Yeah, usually with bottom notes, I have my knees like this. Like this because I want to play. Look, I want to have them here. If I sit normally, it's a bit tough, right? So sometimes we play concert like this and the instrument is not really stable. And it depends also where has the maker put them. If he has put them here or here next to each other. This is why also the placement of your bottom notes is super interesting and important. Sometimes we're like, just put some notes underneath and we're good to go, but where they are placed. And as you can see, this one is super ergonomic. Look, facing one another and two on the side. You don't miss these notes. Ergonomic. I don't have one that is here and one there. So it's sorry, but welcome to the handpan world where it's a bit tricky sometimes to sit down properly and being able to reach the bottom notes.
Yeah, these are some real challenges that we have. It's just part of, the shape and the size of our instrument. And don't be discouraged. We all share these same problems. There's a couple of questions about Handpan Maintenance. One from, I can't read your name, that's Russian, but thanks for tuning in and asking how to properly take care of your handpan. And then there was one from Valérie as well, cleaning, regular maintenance, oiling.
You're the best, Sylvain, for this one.
Yeah, so really quickly, this information is widely available. Your best friend is going to be a microfiber cloth. And you want to wipe down your instrument after you play. Why? Because our skin produces oil, and oil contains moisture, and your instrument is made out of metal. Metal and moisture equals rust. You don't want it to rust. Rust will not destroy your instrument. In fact, it would take your handpan will probably outlast you. And rust would take hundreds of years to eat through the thickness of your handpan, even if it's only a millimeter thick. But what it will create is these little rust dots, and they're annoying. They ruin the aesthetic of your handpan. So wipe down your instrument after playing. That's the first thing. And then there's a variety of products out there using anywhere from kind of over-the-counter coconut oil or olive oil, all the way to Phoenix oil, some handpan specific products. Back in the day, we used to use frog lube. There's handpan wax. There's a bunch of options. Just Google it or go on masterthehandpan.com and you'll find articles on how to clean your handpan. Let's see. our next question is kind of an open-ended question. I'm sure we could philosophize about this for hours, but what is the best tip, Elio asks, what you can give on just flowing on the instrument and not allowing your mind to block you from getting creative?
Yeah. Freedom comes with practice. The more, oh, I have a great example, guys. I have bought an online course about movement. You know, I'm turning 40 in a few months, and I'm fat. And I see that, you know, playing with my kids on the floor and some movement. I'm like, oh, dude, you're getting old. So for sure, I'm on a diet, trying to. And I see this, I've been targeted online, and I saw this guy doing movements. I tried them at home. I was like, oh, I'm super old, and the guy is not. He's older than me, and he has a use of his body. You should see that. Wow. So to buckle up kids in the car, that must be so useful because I cannot do this. Loading your truck and loading and packing and all these daily movements. And the guy was doing them with so much ease. And this ease, this easiness, this being comfortable with your body, the guy is telling you need to do exercises. You need to do exercises to stretch all your muscles and articulation and things here and there. I don't know how you call them, les ligaments, les tendons. Tendons? Tendons. Tenders.
Yeah, you got it. Your chicken tenders.
Chicken tenders. And I think it's the same for no one can be on an instrument and being like, flowing, thinking about something else, having your hands that are flowing. This comes with practice. The more you practice, the more you will develop freedom in your playing because your fingers will be able to obey you. But you need to teach them to do as many movements as possible. And the guy in his course is giving a lot of exercises with your body. I think it's the same with everything. How can you paint with ease? You need to know all your brushes, to know all the colors, how they can blend together and what's the result, and then do some trials and stuff. Freedom, it's driving a car, guys. When we got our license, we were dangerous on the road. But now, look, listening music, talking with the kids, taking some toys that fell under the seat, but because it's a time and practice. So I think there is a misunderstanding, a misconception of the flow state and everything, that it's kind of a gift, something. No, come on, you need practice, you need time. And all these people who are flying over the instrument, it's a lot of practice.
Yeah,
Sylvain,
good man,
you want to
Dave.
jump in and add
No,
some?
it's good, and love it. Love the illustration. Dave is the master of illustrations. He always has like an example in another
daily life
domain.
stuff.
It's great. PD asked, "What's the difference between 332 hertz and I think you mean 440?" So 440 hertz is the standard. It's called concert pitch, and it's a little bit like before there was a unified clock. Every town had their clock set to something slightly different. And with the emergence of trains and train stations, everyone needed to be on the same time because you were going to say, okay, the train leaves at 9. What is 9 in New York and 9 in Chicago? And same thing. A lot of different movements and a lot of different areas of music, theaters, orchestras had their own tuning, and there's been a standardization. 432 hertz is said to have some more alignment with some wavelengths that are represented in nature, and so there's some belief that it's kind of a more resonant frequency. But of course, all the music that you hear every day on the radio or on Spotify is all 440 hertz. And if you want to play with another musician, it's probably going to be 440 hertz. So we're not ever going to push back on whether you want to play in a 432 hertz instrument, but we also want you to jam with Handpan friends and to be able to follow along the materials. So That's the standard, and that's kind of the, without getting into like big debates, that's kind of the extent of it.
Just jumping back, circling back on the previous question, I saw some people talking about stretching and your body. Yes, guys, to flow over the instrument, for sure there is your practice, but also those like really some stretching. Sometimes I do some workshop, and I have this guy. He's been working with tools his whole life. Like every day. The guy, you should see his hands super heavy. Big fingers, and for sure this guy doesn't have a super light, and because every day long he's turning screws and fixing things. So I think stretching, getting rid of the tensions in your body, because your hands is the the result. I mean, it's a chain. So if you have tension here, at the end, you're going to have them here in your wrist. You're going to have them in your fingers. So I think you can work on all those parts with some stretching. And before practicing, don't feel bad of doing all those kind of movements, stretching your wrist so that you have warm fingers and no tension in your body. So how you're positioned, how you are, seated and stuff is really important. So thank you guys for mentioning that in the comments. I forgot to mention it. Teamwork.
Yeah, great job. Anik asks, how often does the handpan need to be retuned? Hey, that's a great question, Anik. The handpan has only existed for 25 years, so we don't have like hundreds of years of historical data. And here on the live stream, and certainly in Handpan Roots, we have hundreds of handpans coming from different makers, built in different years in different regions, from different batches of steel, under different kind of compression and heating process. So it's really hard to give a blanket response. But typically, if on the flip side, what causes an instrument to go out of tune? Number one is you drop it or something drops on it. That's often going to be the main cause. Yeah. Second, if you play too hard, I mean, think of how these handpan notes are tuned with a hammer. If you smack a note, that's not quite as strong as a hammer stroke, but over time you could move the tuning. And number three, some unknown, we've seen it, a handpan that sits on a shelf for like 10 years, it could still go out of tune, even if no force is applied on it. And, that's where we love our tuners, and we want there to be tuners for us over the long haul. So wherever you bought your instrument, support the original maker if you can, or if you don't know the maker because you bought it through a store or whatever, find the closest tuner to you, develop a relationship, and check in with them, and they'll be able to help you out.
Maybe we can pick up one or two real quick, and we wrap up we had announced, I think in the first slide, that we would commit not to take too much of your time and to be like a 1 hour live. What kind of microphone do you use for hang at a concert?
Didn't you write an article about this on
I have an article, actually. Yeah. Yes. Guys, check Master the Handpan blog. We have a lot of articles. It's a matter of budget. Are you indoor? Are you outdoor? But I think what we can say is small and large diaphragm condenser microphone are the best. And then it goes from 100 euros to 4,000 euros. Yeah, I have an article where I sort out mics by purpose and budget. So you should check this out. Sorry.
Anik asks, where can we find information on handpan concerts? I don't know that there is like a global centralized database of all the gigs, but for instance, on our student forum, we have a section called gigs and meetups, and so wherever people are saying, "Hey, I'm gonna go see Hang Massive next Monday," they can connect like that. Of course, if you follow your favorite handpan artists, I'm sure they'll be promoting their tours and their gigs on their social accounts. All right, let's look for one more question, and that'll wrap up our live Q&A.
Yes, I read Zoom. Zoom H4 is great for recording. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. So if you don't know where to start, that is a good option. It's called a handy recorder. It's a portable recording device which does not need a computer. You put the SD card, the storage right into it. It has built-in XY stereo condenser microphones, and you can record anywhere. It's battery powered, so it's a great place to start. You can plug it in as an audio interface and record on your computer, in GarageBand, in whatever, Pro Tools, Logic, whatever you want to use. So that's a great one to get started. Drones Flicks, thanks for that recommendation. Great. So I think this wraps up our live Q&A portion of the live stream. As always, feel free to post questions under the lessons as you go through the Handpan Roots material, and to upvote the interesting questions that you're seeing on there, or even to respond yourself if you have the answer. What to look forward to. So like we mentioned, your modules 4, 5, and 6, I believe, are live. And then June 13th, we start composition.
Yes, you were right, Sylvain. 4 and 5 has been released, and then 6. Wow, time flies.
Yep. Yeah, so obviously composition, songs, right? We listen to songs.
Yeah, from now and then we are working on a proper composition made of different parts, as you can see, introduction, verse, groove, and everything. So I think throughout these lessons, not only you will learn different patterns, but also you will feel how it is like to connect them together. And also all while developing some techniques, because depending on the pattern you learn different techniques. I love composition. I think it's not the only goal of music, but there's something about storytelling, starting and finishing something, being led into the music. You can be led through a random freestyle impro, but I have to say I am a composer. I don't know anything to do but composing, and this is why I want to walk you through a composition. And we start with the intro. That is going to be a super nice pattern. We start slowly but surely, so it's going to be unlocked on June 13th.
Yeah, and the timing is great because David is also working on his latest album. Do we have a release date for your album yet?
September 15th, I think. But for sure
that's
September.
Great.
I think for sure September.
So it's awesome. For anyone who wants to follow the process, I just put the link.
Thank you,
go
guys.
watch these behind the scenes. They're so cool, and it gives you an insight, a peek behind the corner on what composing songs is all about. We would be remiss if we didn't mention the giveaway taking place at the end of our Handpan Roots journey. A huge shout out to Cédric Plat from Panache, who is giving one of you guys a beloved D-Curd sound model. Comes with a bag, value of $1,500 US, 1450 euro. Made with love. We couldn't do this without our handpan makers, and it's so cool to partner with Panache. So make sure to complete those modules as you watch the video lessons to be entered in the raffle. It'll take place live during our last live stream.
There is Dan. Dan is in the chat. Hello, Dan.
Dan is in the house.
Dan, the man.
Dan Malqueen. Can we invite him on? Here,
Yeah,
I'll
send
shoot
him the link.
link.
Let's bring this dude.
Who knows?
Dan, honestly, I could speak hours about him and his playing. He's He's amazingly skilled. And we're also working together at Master the Handpan. I don't know if you guys knew that. He's doing many things. And let's bring him on.
Yeah, Dan, I just sent you the link on Slack. If you want to join us, we're going to be online for a few more minutes. Feel free. We'd love to have you. But yeah, Dan is obviously a professional artist. He's also just a crazy skilled video editor. He's working on the edits of a lot of our courses, but also on the teaching side, teaching teachers, right? Building the curriculum with our artists to make sure that they are communicating their knowledge in a way that resonates with you guys. So anywhere from the skills to the psychology and just bridging all of that, Dan's a huge asset to the team. So while we wait until maybe Dan's going to join us, let us remind you that we're 2 out of 4. We've completed our first 2 live streams. We'll have our second checkpoint a week from today. And then a week later, we'll have our last finish line live prize draw of the raffle. And a lucky winner will go home with his panache. And I think, look, we got him. There he is. What's up, Dan?
Yo, what's up?
Okay, I think you're muted. We'll give you a second to figure it out. But yeah, David, thank you for taking the time to answer those questions and to walk us through this first checkpoint. So everyone in the chat, thank you so much for participating to our icebreaker question, for watching thus far, for submitting your questions. Please continue the conversation on the Handpan Village. And Dan, do we have audio?
I think we're good. You tell me.
Yes, you're good.
Right. Dude, I was checking in on you guys to make sure the wheels weren't falling off, and now now here we are.
Yeah. You are back from Crete. No, from Greece.
Naxos.
Naxos.
Yeah, man.
Hona Festival.
Yeah, you were in Crete.
I was in Crete. You were in Hona at the Naxos island. How was it?
And people are very divided on whether they like Athens or not. Some of our Greek students are going to be upset, but who's in favor, who's against?
We'll keep our comments to ourselves. No, it was, what a great live it was. This was good. This was fun. I was watching in the back, getting some stuff done, listening to you guys answer some questions.
Listening to my beautiful English, right?
That's it.
Did you learn some vocabulary?
Comment
dit? How do you say? Yeah, so again, guys, someone wrote in the comment, I just discovered Dan on Spotify. Hey, guys, check. Dan Mulqueen, Spotify, a lot of stuff on there. Check his social media. Dan is an amazing player. He brought, fresh, new style handpan. That's what exactly we need in the handpan world. So check Dan for sure. And we're heading to the end. I need to go back home at some point.
It's late for you, man.
I have a bed in the studio. No, I'm kidding.
Nine something for you.
Excuse me?
9 something for you, right?
9 something. And you know me, I go to bed early because otherwise I'm a grumpy dude.
All right.
Well, dude, thanks for inviting me on. I'll let you guys get back to it for your. I'm going to be watching in the chat. I don't wanna...
No, stay with us. Come on.
Yeah, okay. I think we're pretty much wrapped up. We did get one question that we didn't answer. I did see it pop up in the village.
One-handed.
Exactly. Yeah. Can we get a one-handed demo?
Yeah, for sure. So someone was like, "Hey, if you have some hard time with your other hand or some, I think some un handicap ou quoi, hein?
Yeah.
Right, Sylvain? Yeah.
For whatever reason, you can only play the handpan with one hand.
Can you imagine, guys? You can play rhythm with one hand? kind of cool. Boom, some hi-hat here, and a little snare. Yeah, some melodies. So honestly, every pattern that you play with two hands could be played with one. You just have to be slower or to readapt it. But with just one hand, we can have nice melodies. Maybe I'm gonna take the G Magnolia, which give me more melodic ideas. This one. Kind of things you can incorporate even some percussion in between. It's kind of cool. It's tiring. The best is to be able to have both. But sometimes either we have you broke your arm. Keep practicing and developing actually that constraint. C'est ça, hein, Sylvain, qu'on dit?
Yeah, limitation, that's constraint.
That limitation is pushing you. You can only play fewer notes, so you have to select them properly, and maybe one day you will get the use back of your left hand and that little thing, but then you will be able to harmonize it. I forgot what was the melody, but with the bass line, boom, boom, boom. Etc. You can harmonize what you've been playing. I hope that was interesting. It was a total impro, but train, practice, have fun, and find the right notes, organize them, sort them out. Okay, that bass line, this note, then this one, then go back on the one, and draw something that you like, that pleases you, and you might come up with some cool ideas.
That was wonderful, and it was great too, because we love to end in music, so we're going to be mindful of everyone's time. We're 20 minutes over, but a huge thank you to all of you for joining us. Really wonderful to do these live sessions together. Go practice, continue the conversation in the Handpan Village, and we will see you next week.
Thank you.
Music.
Oh, remember, good memories, right? The fantastic week.
Dude, this song like imprinted into my brain.
I love the ride symbol. Oh, it's not here. Wait.
I think it's the next. Yeah.
The rim shot.